The needles for the Husqvarna Viking Huskylock S-25 are the ELX705. So usually you have a pack of 80s and 90s. That is about what comes for this machine. Nothing fancy, but they are overlock needles. These are not the needles that came with your soy machine. So make sure you have these packs with your serger, have some extra ones, and know when to put them in. If you hear any like clicking sound or if your thread's breaking, first thing to do, change needles. Bigger needles, 90s for your heavier fabrics, 80s for anything of the medium to lighter weight fabrics. And you don't put anything bigger or smaller in. Actually, you can go down to a 70, but really this is the size that you find mostly at your stores. So I'm going to just show you how we change the needles. And well, actually first off, we do have a video for changing needles, but I want to point out that you'll notice that there is back here, they are noted A and B. So the A needle is the left needle, the B needle is the right needle, and then you also have C, D, and E. That's right up front here. And those holes are in front of the serger needles because they line up with the three little long ovals on the front of the foot. That's for cover stitch and chain stitch. So we never use C, D, and E unless we're going over to the cover stitch side. So when you go in here, this is for your hex screwdriver that you want to use, and loosen those, but don't take them out very far. They're not very long. And then also too, remember you've got on the opposite end of your needle threader is a little hole. That's a catcher. Now you can't come in this way because there's not enough room. You have to come in straight in front, and then that way you can catch it while you loosen it, and then also help make sure that you get it all the way back up to the top when you go to reinsert it. Notice that your needles are at two different heights. You're going to find your left needle is always higher than your right needle. So that there's a little trick I always say is if you're going from a 3-thread wide, which is using the left needle, to a 3-thread narrow, which is using the right needle. Sometimes what I'll do is before I take one of the needles out, I'll put the second one in, check the height, and then remove the one you don't need. So you always have kind of a double check that you're actually that they're all the way up as high as you'll go. Because if they're not, that also, well, it causes problems. So it's one way to double check and not have problems without you knowing it, since you only have one needle in. So needles, just make sure change them regularly. If as soon as you have some problems with your serger, get a new needle in it because you've probably used it longer than you should have.